Hold on to your butts. About to hit. Soccerwise favorite Utah Royals here, who finished 11th in NWSL last year, and it did not jade us at all. They won one of their first 12 matches, so to not finish in last, it meant that they finished the year on a 1.6 points per game mark, which would have been fifth if they had played that for the entire year. In this offseason, they brought in Nuria Rabona from Germany, Alex Larea in a trade, Aisha Sorlazano from Tijuana, Tatum Milazzo from Chicago. They brought on loan Anna Guzman as well from Bayern Munich, and KK Ream, a U18 signing that they are very excited about. Hannah Betfort, we have talked about, has left. Cameron Tucker and Zoe Burns as well. But the story for this team off the field, Jimmy Conrad's the full year as a head coach, and Kelly Cousins the full year as a sporting director, Jordan.
Yeah, I love Utah. I love what they've been doing under Jimmy Conrad. And this is a team who has a lot of European flair to the way that they play. They play out of a 4-2-3-1 with Mina Tanaka as that front runner. Ali Setnor really runs this team centrally in the midfield, and throughout the end of the season, they built in a structure of a 3 in the back and 2 right underneath it, and it allowed them to get an outside back high. I think with the additions, Guzman and Rabano, this is a team who's going to be able to go forward and be a little bit more structured in the way that they go forward. They showed that at the end of last year. Jill, there's a lot to like about Utah and what they built through 2024.
I mean, going into last year, I thought, okay, this is a Utah team that's going to finish dead last. And then after the Summer Cup, I was like, okay, we're making a run for playoffs. There's hope. It was like Jekyll and Hyde within one season. Partly because of Jimmy coming in, but they also added some players, Tejada, Zornosa to their midfield that I thought in the beginning of the year under Amy Rodriguez, they were a team they quote wanted the ball, right? They wanted the ball, but then under Kumratz, they found a way to penetrate with the ball. They didn't just swing it from center back to center back. They actually found ways to break through their opponent's first line of pressure. I thought that started with Maddie McGlynn. I think she is the most important piece to this team. Like the quarterbacking their possession, has a way to solve pressure, but she is so good. I will say, I think she's one of the most penetrative passers in the world, and her ability to find players between the lines and in central spaces is second to none. And when they moved Tejada into the midfield, she was one of those players that could receive from Mandy McGlynn, draw pressure, engage that next line, and open up players like Tanaka or Sentinor between the lines. And when Sentinor got the ball between lines, I mean, she was so dangerous off of the dribble. She's a player that every time she receives the ball, it is just one-minded and it's forward. I want to receive the ball. I want to go forward. But then I thought she added so much on the defensive side of the ball too. I mean, there were times where she was creating turnovers and then going off of the dribble herself. Her ability to shoot from range is obviously fantastic. We saw it in the She Believes. And I surmise that as this team grows and adds more pieces, they're going to put themselves in more dangerous positions to score in a more sustainable way, closer to goal, rather than just relying on Sentinor from distance.
Lori, we're in danger of groupthink right now. Can you pour some water on this?
I am just excited with the work that they've done in the offseason. You know, I think this is they have at least shown that they're like, okay, let's take a broader look at how this team was built, what pieces we needed to add. And I would even say, even though their record was, and their play in general wasn't, to be fair, just like not great at the beginning of last season by any means, they still had a lot of quality on their team. And I think they did a really good job in the middle of the season and this offseason to come in and say, what else do we need? Guzman, who no one's talked about, I think is actually going to be a huge piece, because then they can be more aggressive. Colombian International, they can be aggressive. They can push forward. I mean, this is the thing. They had to be dropped back so far defensively throughout a lot of the beginning of last season. There was so much ground to make up. It was just such a, it felt like such a labored style of play. Well, you want Ali Sentinor. You want these players to be higher, closer to the goal. I mean, you could say that for every team, but still, just the way that this team is built. So I'm excited about Guzman. And I'm excited to see what this team is going to do in this season, because they have been aggressive, and I want them to be rewarded for that.
It has been a strong 12 months or 6 months for Utah. We're hoping to make it 12 months and make it last all the way through this season. Not another mid-season rebuild, but the pieces they brought in, especially across central midfield, were some of the most fun to watch last year. And we are hoping to see it all on display once again.